I want to welcome everybody. My name is Cindy Morgan, and I'm a number of things, I guess. I'm one of the Healthy Human Race Committee members. I'm also the Vice President of the Rochester Running Club. And so I want to personally thank all of you for either A, signing up for the race or having interest in it. I know it's been a very I hate using the word interesting, but I don't know what else to use kind of year for us runners. And so I'm really proud to have been able to have been a part of this race and getting it going, because I will say personally that back in April, I was like, we got to go virtual, guys. Got to go virtual. And this team really stuck by and said, you know what, let's wait this out and let's see if this is possible. So I'm really proud of everybody for making that happen and moving forward with that. Lynn, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself then too?
Okay. My name is Lynn Gentling, and I'm the race director of the Healthy Human Race and have been race director for about 5 years now. And I have served on the board, the running club board, when it was the Rochester Track Club. So I was on the board for about, maybe 20 years. I kind of lost count. That's what happens when no one else steps up. You feel that you got to stay with the course. So I did.
Right. And so today we just really wanted to offer an opportunity because, as I was saying, everything is different. But to be able to race in a pandemic, there have been other running groups that have shown that it is possible and that there are ways to do this safely. But it is going to be different. I mean, we're kind of used to walking up to a race and we know the routine and we know what's going on and we know what to expect. And we really wanted to try to provide some source of expectation, but then also kind of let everybody know that this is different. And so we'll chat about, sorry, I'm going to admit somebody else here. We'll chat about what we are providing, what will be changing, the behaviors that we expect to be able to ensure that everybody's going to be able to have a safe race. And then we also want you to ask us any questions too as well, because not only is it about providing those expectations, but also for you to have the opportunity to find out if this is really a safe race for you, because I know that there may be some folks out there who are still considering that too. We have some room left in the registration too. We haven't hit our cap yet, right, Lynn?
Correct.
Yeah, so we still have some room left, and Tuesday is our last day for registration. We will not be accepting any same day registration or day before. So Tuesday is our cutoff for this race. And so I want to also make sure that most folks are aware of that too as well. So why don't we get right into this, Lynn? We've got quite a few folks who've joined in. Great. Thanks everyone for being here today. So I have muted everybody. And what we'll do is Lynn's going to go through. She's going to provide kind of the rundown of the information that we've picked out that we feel is important for you to be aware of and know. And with 12 participants, I think we'd be okay if we'd open up and folks can unmute themselves or use a chat box to provide questions, and then we'll kind of go through that way. We have a 40-minute time limit, so free Zoom, folks. So I guess let's get moving and let's get going here.
Okay, so I'll start off, and those of you who have done the Healthy Human Race in the past will not see the same setup as we've had, and largely because we have to be considerate and understanding of the new environment, and hopefully this will be just for this year, but there's no guarantees. But we feel real confident in the plan that we have set forth. It's been accepted by the City of Rochester. It's been endorsed by the Minnesota Running Industry Task Force. And they are using this as an opportunity to spread the word, so to speak. We may have people attending this race that may not be running, but they're observing. They're observing because they want to see these races go live in their own communities. Our COVID prep plan is not authored just by Rochester and the Healthy Human Race. It's a palliation of many other COVID plans. We took the pieces that probably would work for us, and then we put them into the plan, submitted to the City Council, and the City Council enthusiastically supported us. And Mayor Norton, as a matter of fact, who is the mayor of Rochester, has indicated that she would like to see there be a push for outdoor activity in the community. And so we feel that we got in with that umbrella and had her endorsement as well. So what's it going to look like for you folks? Do you remember how typical races are, that you gather at the start line? There's lots of crowds. You see good friends you haven't seen maybe for quite some time in the past, and you get together and you catch up a little bit before the race. You do the race and you come back and you chow down on some good post-race food and some beverages contingent upon the race that you're in. They may or may not be to your liking, but at any rate, and then you gather up again and you cheer your friends in, and you might wait around, and if your family members, your friends, and you continue with that social engagement. That is not happening this year. It cannot happen this year because the state health department has indicated that we must not gather in large groups because, of course, that encourages potentially the spread of COVID-19. So here's what's going to happen and how it's going to impact you folks. You all have the opportunity to sign up for corrals, and if there's someone who hasn't signed up for a corral by Tuesday morning, they will be put into a corral and notified of that corral assignment. You will then arrive at the staging area, which is going to be a ball field right before the Soldiers Field track area. And in that staging field, you can do, again, 6 feet distance, but that is where you will prepare and wait for about 10 minutes for your corral to be loaded. But we ask, and we really have to depend on you folks to abide by these requests in order for this to be successful and safe. We ask that you do not arrive any earlier than 10 minutes prior to your corral. We ask that you arrive race ready. There will be no bag drop. There will be we'll probably have some cups of water out, but there will not be anybody providing you or handing you any water. There will be a late packet pickup for those people who don't live in Rochester. And we are encouraging all those who live in Rochester to pick up their packet prior to. Again, we're trying to avoid touch points on the day of the event. You see that what the check-in tent is, it's going to be in that area. There's a ball field right before the track. So you arrive 10 minutes beforehand, you do what you need to do to get ready. There will be porta potties, there'll be water and so forth. If you want to arrive 5 minutes beforehand, that's fine too. But again, please arrive race ready, secure your belongings inside your vehicle. There will be no secure area to hold your personal belongings while you are running the race. That may require some creativity in how you're going to deal with your keys, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask at the conclusion of our comments, and we'll be glad to give you some ideas. So once you come into the corral area, as you come into the corral area, we're going to check a number of things. One is we're going to take your temperature, and that's just simply a thermometer that goes on your forehead, and we check that. Secondly, we're going to check to make sure that you are masked. We must be masked in order to get into the start area, and we encourage you to be masked in the staging area as well. And thirdly, we're going to check the dot on your bib to make sure that you are in the correct corral. So those three things will be, you must adhere to. And then you can see the corral set up. Participants will enter the checkpoint from the back of the corral, and they'll move forward to the front. We will have cones placed at 6 foot distances so that when you arrive into the corral, you will advance to the front to a cone that is not inhabited. And there will be a barrier on either side to prevent anybody from coming in from any side other than the back side. Then when your corral start begins, not everybody's going to take off at the same time. We will stagger the starts from within the corral. So there will be 2, maybe 3 people if we can spread you out across the track. But again, social distancing at the start. So we'll start 2 to 3 people at the same time, wait 15 to 20 seconds, and then start the next group. And then and the next group and so forth, so that not everybody's going to start at the time that you've signed up. So at 6:30, we may have everybody through by maybe 6:37, 6:38, depending on how we decide to go 2 or 3 across. You'll then, as soon as you start the race, you then can take your mask off, but not until. And please don't come assuming that you can put your t-shirt over your mouth and that's going to suffice. It does not. You need a mask that is in place over your nose, your mouth, and is held in place either with ties in the back or with elastic straps around your ears. If you have a buff, that will work as well. But we want you to hang on to that if you can. If you choose not to, we'll get to that in just a moment. So you go run your race, and as the race progresses, whether it's a 5K or the half marathon, hopefully you'll be staggered enough so that you won't be clumping together in any groups. Certainly if you're family groups, you can run together. That's not an issue. It's never been an issue in the COVID environment so far, and we're going to continue to honor that. The 5K folks will not have any aid station support. And again, we've had to cut down on our aid stations because of the number of volunteers, and also just to protect our volunteers. You are welcome to carry water with you if you so desire, but in a 5K, we're going to be providing you with liquid replenishment at the finish line. The half marathon people will have aid about every 3 miles. So in times past, it's been every 2 miles. So if you feel you need water more frequently, by all means, bring your own liquids. When you get to an aid station, there will be cups of Gatorade put out. There'll be cups of water. Nothing else will be available at the aid station. You will not be handed water. You will take your own water and or Gatorade off of the table. And there'll probably be just 20 cups at a time, because again, there's not going to be a mass of people coming through it at any one time. So that should be very manageable. That same aid station going out will be the same aid station coming back. So roughly the aid stations will be at 3, 6, 9, and 12. And then, so as you're going out, you may encounter people coming back on some of those aid stations. Please be respectful of maintaining distance. This is not a time for you to get a PR. The course is not certified. And we decided not to certify the course because of the costs involved, and this is a 1 year only, we hope. So then you go through the race, you come back, you enter into the finish line area. As you enter into the finish line area, there'll be a side where the 5K and half marathoners will finish, and there'll be a side where the the half marathoners will finish. And you can see the finish line on that graphic, and you'll come in from the tennis court area. So basically it's an out and back course with a little bit of a keyhole at the far end. And the maps are on our Healthy Human Race website if you are so inclined to check those out. As you go through the finish line, there'll be the timing vehicle there, there'll be the medical tent there, and you'll, depending on what race you're running, you will finish on either the right or left side. It'll be partitioned off. The reason we want you to finish on either one side or the other is because the 5K swag bag is different from the half marathon swag bag only in the medal that you will be receiving. So there's actually two differences. The half marathoners will be getting Gatorade because of the length and time that they are out on the course, and they'll get the 4-inch medal. The 5K and half marathon relay will get the 3.5-inch medal. Same medal, just different size, but we want to make sure that everyone gets the right bag. And so for that reason, there's a partition that will separate you, and the bags will be given to you as soon as you finish. Inside that bag will be Gatorade for the half marathoners and water for everybody. So as soon as you finish, we would like you to put that mask back on. If you for some reason don't have that mask, we will have masks available for you to put on, but we do expect you to put that mask back on, even though it's a very short walk to exit the staging area, or exit the finish area. But again, this is to protect the volunteers and your fellow runners. So basically, anytime you're on that track area, we will expect you to be masked. And as soon as you finish, it's not a time to kind of collect your thoughts and hang over your knees and whatnot. We want you to keep walking to the exit. There will be no spectators permitted inside the area. And we are encouraging spectators to be out on the course, but not anywhere near the finish line, just because we have to protect that finish line from gatherings of people. So again, if you feel that you want to have spectators and they're willing to come out there and cheer you on, please do not do it in the area of the start, finish, or staging area. They are welcome to go out anywhere on the course. Again, please avoid crowding. So what have I missed, Cindy?
I think it might be a good opportunity to talk a little bit about parking as well. The
Okay.
park department has forewarned us that there are going to be some other activities in that parking lot. Is not going to be available for event parking for our event. But for anybody who's been down to Soldiers Field, you do know that there is plenty elsewhere. There's the park that's off to the right-hand side. There's also George Gibbs Drive, I think it is. It's on the left-hand side. You have
Yes.
Soldiers Memorial Field. Also, there's a very large parking space now available over across Broadway over at Kmart, and you can access the Soldiers Field area with a bridge over the river quite easily. So hopefully there will be plenty of opportunities for folks. You might have to walk a little bit, but I think that might be okay for many of us. It might be a nice
Yeah.
little loose up and opportunity to loosen up and warm up a little bit. But again, that parking lot that is pictured here right near the golf course is just, they have asked us to make sure that we keep that clear for the golfers. And then also there's some fireworks staging that's going to be going on for the evening too as well. So I
And
will
if
ask the folks to respect that.
for those of you who are out of town, it can be confusing in that area, so we will have a volunteer station there so that they can help you if you wander down into that area. It is a dead end, so but there's plenty of space to turn around in if you find yourself in that area.
Yep.
Uh,
A great thing to do would just to be hang out in your car until you get that 10-minute window, and then you can come on over. We should have plenty of space around that ball field to accept those waves. So I don't believe we're going to be sticklers and watching our watch on you, but we would appreciate the honesty of everybody participating, and I think that that's really a big part of this. Is that we have trust and faith in our community and the community of runners that everybody will police and monitor themselves. Because the important thing is if we do this right, everybody will take this plan and build on it and make sure that we have successful running no matter how long this pandemic goes.
yeah.
But if we don't do it right, there will be some learning from that, but it will just mean it takes that much longer before us as a running community can really start to participate in these ways again.
We all have a chance to make history, and I think that it's one of those things where this 2020 year is going to be something that we will never forget. But maybe there's a bright part of 2020, and that bright part can be participating live in a race. So
Yeah.
we're excited to be able to offer that opportunity. But the success of this race is really wrapped up in all of you.
Right. Maybe a good opportunity to talk about the packet pickup because we've changed that a little bit too as well, but
Yeah.
it's a bit more simpler, I think.
Yeah. Packet pickup will not be inside a building as it has in the past. It'll be drive-by. And please don't shoot us, just drive by nicely. But we will have it, those of you who are from Rochester, there is a new Starbucks coffee business in the parking lot that's near Shields. It will be in that parking lot on the east end. And we'll have cones set up. So basically you come down and there'll be a volunteer that will run out, a masked volunteer that will run out and get your name, and we'll run back and get your packet with t-shirt, bib, and I believe Shields is going to put a coupon in there as well. And if you want to get packets for other people, that works for us. I think it's time, given the time that with the fewer people that come through, if you can pick up other people's packets, that's greatly appreciated. But we hope it goes smoothly and seamlessly, but that's our plan. So you'll just drive around kind of a horseshoe and then exit kind of where you came in, and we'll just keep that horseshoe going until we get everybody outfitted with their packets. And the packet pickup will be from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock on Thursday afternoon and evening, and the same on Friday afternoon and evening.
Right. So kind of, I guess, in summary, the way that I have it summarized in my mind is like most everything is the same, with the exception of you absolutely need your mask. You have to have a mask with you when you race for the Saturday, excuse me, for the race. So if you're kind of like trying to break this all down in your mind, make sure you have your mask. Make sure that you've considered how you're going to intake water, nutrition, and if you can find a way to do that without having to interact with the aid station, kudos, top notch. That's really what we prefer, but we will have them there in case things don't go well or you don't have that ability. Make sure you've got a potty. I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, so I'm used to saying that. No shame here. And then, of course, make sure you have your other, typical race attire, so your bib and other items that you'll need. No bag check this time, right? Did you say that, Lynn?
I did, yes, but it's good to reiterate it.
Perfect. All right, well, I think maybe it's a good opportunity to open up for questions. We have such a small group. Feel free to use that chat function if you'd like to. But you're also welcome to just unmute yourself. I think you can. I did mute a lot of folks as you came in, but I'm pretty sure you can unmute yourself even though I've done that. And you can feel free to ask a question to Lynn here.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, John,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I just have a quick question. So first of all, fantastic stuff. This is all good stuff. I'm super excited. I'm coming from out of town. Yeah, just can't wait to race. So I definitely realized that the highest priority is not like certifying the course. I heard you guys say that. I was just curious, was it measured like with a GPS, or how did you guys like do it for this? I just wanted to know like how it was measured.
That's a good question, John. It was measured on Map My Run, and then I went out today on the 5K course. The 5K course, according to my GPS, is 3.33 miles. And we're going to go out and do the same on the half marathon course. If we have to cut it back or add 2, there are places where we can do that. But we really are trying to stay off the roads and be on the trails. But there's all sorts of permutations of our trail system that we can take. It will be as close to 13.1 miles for the half marathon as we can make it. I'm not sure we can reduce the 5K much. I was looking for ways to do that today. And there's just a river that gets in the way. And so I don't think we can modify that too much. It may be just a little bit longer this year, but that's the intent, is that we will go out and make it as close to 13.1 as we possibly can, given our GPS. We'll do it multiple times. So it'll be a compilation of different GPSs, and we'll do the best we can to average it out.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for coming to join us this year too. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Where are you coming from, John?
I'm coming from Chicago, so this is.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like
Yay.
so ready to race. I was like so excited when I saw this, and I'm like, I just can't wait to participate. So yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to make this happen.
Well, we appreciate
Great.
it, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Yeah, so folks, we're going to be running up against our 40-minute time limit here. We got just a little over 8.5 minutes left. I'll leave it open here for anybody else to ask some questions. Again, feel free to use that chat function for us too as well, if you're interested. Oh, go ahead.
I just noticed that Sean Palmer has joined us, and I want to express appreciation times a million to Sean Palmer. Sean is one of our city councilmen and really, really spearheaded getting this COVID prep plan through and approval for this race. So Sean, thank you. I don't think we can thank you enough. Your heroics do not go unnoticed, and we are grateful to you.
Yeah, kudos. I second that too as well, and thankful that we have so many wonderful people part of our running community, and that includes Sean, who's backed us on many things, including saving that very track we're starting on. Well, gosh, maybe we were able to answer quite a few questions here, guys. We have just a little over 7 minutes left to go before Zoom will probably assumably kick us off.
We got a couple questions coming up here.
Oh, great. Oh, yes. Deb, yes, thanks for reminding me that. I did think about that earlier. We are in need of help for volunteers, as always. And if you can imagine this year, it's even more challenging because our typical folks that we would go to, there are many people out there who are concerned about impacts from COVID and being as safe as possible. So we are in need of volunteers for those positions. And so we have a link on our website. So if you know of anybody or are interested in doing that, head on over there. I, for one, am participating virtually this year so that way I can help out the day of the race.
And if you do participate virtually, we encourage you to pick your bag up at Packet Pickup. If you're from out of town and obviously can't get here because of mileage and time and distance, we'll mail it to you. But we really would like for you to pick it up at Packet Pickup. It just helps us with mailing reduction of costs. And there was another question from Rob, great question, Rob, asked how are we going to be timed? Because obviously we're not all starting at the same time. It'll be chip timing this year. So as you cross the mat, your time starts. As you cross the mat at the finish line, your time ends. And for that reason, we will be mailing out awards. We will not have an awards ceremony. We will be mailing out awards if you are the recipient of one of those awards. Thanks, Rob. That's a good question. Thank you for asking. And
Great. Lots of good questions here.
oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Lynn. This one, I know you can answer. Go ahead.
There was a question about, Rick asked a question about, do we return the chips? The chips are embedded in your bibs. So no, those are yours. You can take home, frame them, see how they work, except for the relays. We don't have any relays this year, and they will be, there will be a chip that will be around your ankle, and we will have someone at the finish line to gather those, but we will ask you as the second person of the two-person relay to remove the chip and to place it in the bucket. So there will be a person to remind you, but we will have you as the runner remove the chip and place it in the bucket so there's no touch point.
Great question.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we've hit the 5-minute limit here. Maybe, oh, go ahead, Lynn.
So I just have one more thing. There will be a instructional instructional document that will be sent to all of you. Much of what we just said tonight will be reiterated in that, and we'll probably be sending that out next week so that everybody has access to this information and we're all under the same expectation in terms of what you need to do and so forth. And please, it takes a village to put this on, and you folks are all part of this village. If you see people who forgot to put their mask on, and that happens to me a lot, but or they're not social distancing, just a gentle reminder is always worthwhile, because again, we're being looked at, and not that we're under the microscope, but we just want to, our priority is the safety of you, the runner, and our volunteers. So we hope that you'll help us with that.
Right. And as always, we appreciate your patience, because as things have changed for us on the committee, one change leads to another and another and another. And we have done our very best to catch all of those changes and make it as seamlessly as possible for our runners. But inevitably, there probably might be something that didn't go as planned. So we appreciate your patience. And most of all, we really appreciate your faith in us as we've worked diligently to put this plan in place, because we feel strongly that finding a way to run safely in times of COVID is going to be really important for our community, especially now we're in the 6th month of this, I think. I've lost track. So I want to say thank you. And, from the Rochester Running Club too, as well, I feel like I can speak for the community and saying that, we appreciate you supporting this race too as well, because it is a major fundraiser for the community. And we are thankful to be able to have an opportunity to remain financially healthy, which I think is the other part of this. Is there's so many running communities right now who are struggling in this time. So we appreciate that, and hope you keep that in mind as you're out there running. All right, guys, we have 2 minutes and 41 seconds, 2 minutes and 40. We're on the countdown here. Any last questions, feel free to type those in. If for any reason we are not able to get to them, I will try to track you down either by way through Lynn with the registrations or whatever else to make sure that we get things answered. You can always message us on Facebook with anything between now and then. Lynn's contact information is also available on the website too as well. Reach out to her. We want to be open and available and responsive. So please make sure that you do that.
And we are recording this, so there will be an opportunity for people who were not able to check in this evening to hear what we have already mentioned.
Oh, one last thing here. Deb reminded us of the charity challenge. That is still going on.
And that's where you folks have the opportunity to vote, and we take the top 3 charities and we provide a nice donation to those charities. So
Yeah. So even
it's
through
very
all the
competitive right now.
yeah, through all this that you're giving to Rochester Running Club, and then we're also giving out to as well. So hopefully it's just, lots of good things happening all around. All right, folks, 1 minute left. We did it.
All right, good job. Excited to see you guys on the 22nd of August, and thank you so much. We are so appreciative of your participation.
All right, take care, everyone. Thank you. We'll see you then.
Thanks, folks.